Target breach that remind us that protecting our personal information is more important than ever. Financial advisor Dan Ament with Morgan Stanley joins us now with some tips to safeguard your identity and your data. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Where do we begin?
Target's not alone. This is just a name, a brand name, and a well-known name, especially in our community, that just further escalates the topic of protecting your data and the issue of fraud. Target being another victim. It was a crime, and I think for consumers it's important just to protect yourself and take certain basic steps to do the best you can to protect your data.
Well, and it's one of those places, ubiquitous, that so many people frequent. So when you heard about this, personally speaking, the first thing we did was say, oh my, let's look at everything that we have. And
Right.
so you start looking at your cards and your credit report.
So let's start there, credit report. And we spoke about this just a few weeks ago, but for people out there that didn't hear it or want to hear it again, request your credit report. You're entitled to a free report from each of the major credit reporting bureaus per year. So you could either request all three and review them, or if you would like to review your general credit more frequently, stagger those requests to the three different bureaus. Periodically review it. What you're looking for is the accounts that they list and the balances on your report. Are they accurate? Are there any accounts that you don't recognize? And if there are, report them immediately.
You need to be checking your bank statement. If you do discover some irregularities, the bad news is, okay, yeah, I've been hit. What do I do?
Far and away. So if you think you might have been a victim or you want to take preventative measures, change the PIN on your debit card. That was one issue that could have been raised in the latest fiasco. The second is you could take the measure of changing your account number, but that relates to all of your potential auto pays. It's cumbersome and a problematic process, but it could further protect you. Watch your activity, as you stated, Tim. The detail month to month, your credit card statement, your bank account statement. If there's anything unusual, report it promptly, and you'll generally be protected.
You and your talking points too. Ask questions before deciding to share your personal information. You got to be careful about what you're doing before you maybe do a transaction.
Whether or not you're active on the internet, our personal information is far more electronically dispersed than we would like to know and admit and realize. So be aware, be guarded. If you receive a call, if you receive odd emails, know that most legitimate retailers, your credit card company, your bank, retailers, they're not going to contact you and request or ask for personal data over the phone. They're going to go through a verification process. Be on guard.
And the companies that you deal with, if you are the victim of this, they're fairly understanding too. I mean, they've got their safeguards in place to help you.
Absolutely. And that is the technology that's out there. In fact, I think there is a push over time. Europe and Canada, as an example, are using chip technology versus the traditional magnetic strip. We're going to see continued advancements in technology and encryption to further safeguard information in the future.
And the cat and mouse game will continue with those who will try to beat the system and steal your information too. It will indeed. Dan Ament from Morgan Stanley. Dan, we've got all Dan's tips covered on KARE11.com under the Sunrise section as always. Dan, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Timmy. Make it